Every sunrise is a new chance to live better, to rise higher, to come closer to the purpose God has written for you. The habits you repeat every day shape your destiny. They can either weaken your spirit or strengthen your soul. Today, I want to share with you 10 daily habits that every woman must master, not just to live a successful life, but to live a meaningful, powerful, and God-aligned life. We all want happiness, success, peace, and fulfillment. But the truth is, none of these are found in one big decision. They are hidden in small daily choices. Life is not changed in a day, it is changed daily. The question is, what do we practice every single day? Do our habits push us forward, or do they hold us back? God has gifted every woman a unique strength, a beauty of spirit, and a power that can transform not only her life, but also the lives of those around her. If we master our daily habits, we master our destiny. Let us dive into the habits that build not just a strong woman, but a wise, graceful, and unstoppable one. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a way of life. It is a lens through which we choose to see the world. Imagine waking up every morning, opening your eyes, and instead of immediately rushing into stress, complaints, or worries, you pause for a moment and simply say, "Thank you, God. Thank you for another day. Thank you for the gift of breath. Thank you for the gift of life." That single shift of thought sets the tone for the entire day. Gratitude is the art of turning what we already have into more than enough. It is the habit that transforms ordinary days into blessings and routine moments into miracles. So often, we get trapped in the race of life, comparing ourselves with others, thinking about what we don't have, what we haven't achieved yet, and what's missing from our story. But the truth is, no matter where we stand today, there is always something to be grateful for. A woman who wakes up with gratitude in her heart carries a glow on her face that no expensive makeup can match. Gratitude is the real beauty enhancer because it shines from within. Think about it. If you wake up and the first thought is, "Why is life so hard? Why don't I have this? Why do others have it better?" Your day begins with heaviness. But if you wake up and your first thought is, "Thank you, God, for keeping me alive. Thank you for my family, for this home, for the chance to start again," suddenly your heart feels lighter. You are no longer focused on the lack, but on the abundance. Gratitude doesn't change the situation instantly, but it changes how you experience it. And when you change how you experience life, life itself starts changing. Let me give you a simple example from daily life. Picture two women. Both are mothers, both are working, both are busy. The first one wakes up every morning frustrated. "Why do I have so much work? Why is my house always messy? Why don't my children listen to me?" She carries irritation with her throughout the day. By the time she goes to bed, she feels drained, unhappy, and unappreciated. Now imagine the second woman. She also wakes up with the same amount of work, the same responsibilities, the same children creating chaos. But when she opens her eyes, she whispers, "Thank you, God, for blessing me with a family. Thank you for giving me strength to handle all this. Thank you for another day to love, to serve, and to grow." As she cooks, she feels thankful she has food to prepare. As she goes to work, she feels grateful that she has a job. When she sees her children playing, she feels blessed that they are healthy and alive. The work is the same, the challenges are the same, but the attitude of gratitude transforms her entire experience. Do you see the difference? Gratitude doesn't remove life's difficulties, but it gives us the strength to carry them with grace. It is like a lamp in the darkness. It doesn't eliminate the night, but it makes the journey easier, more peaceful, and more beautiful. One of the biggest mistakes we make is waiting for big things to be grateful for. We think, I'll be grateful when I get promoted. I'll be grateful when I buy a house. I'll be grateful when everything falls perfectly into place. But life doesn't work that way. If we cannot be grateful for the little things, a meal, a smile, a friend's call, a healthy body, we will never feel grateful when the big things come. Gratitude is a habit that must be practiced daily in small ways. Sometimes gratitude is not about saying thank you for what we like, but about saying thank you even for the challenges. Because often, the problems we complain about today are the very things that shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate people tomorrow. Think about a time in your life when things didn't go your way. Maybe you were rejected, maybe you failed, maybe you lost something you loved. At that moment it felt painful. But looking back now, you realize it was that very pain that redirected you towards something better. Gratitude allows us to trust that God's plan is bigger than our limited vision. I often say, gratitude turns what we have into more, and complaint turns what we have into less. If you keep complaining, even the biggest blessings will feel small. But if you keep thanking, even the smallest things will feel abundant. This is why people who practice gratitude daily seem happier, calmer, and more at peace. Not because they have a perfect life, but because they have a grateful heart. So, my dear sisters, I urge you to build the habit of gratitude. Every morning, before you pick up your phone, before you dive into the world of notifications, close your eyes and whisper at least 3 things you are thankful for. Write them down if you can. They don't have to be big. It could be as simple as, I'm thankful for this cup of tea. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for the sunshine. This small practice, repeated daily, will slowly rewire your mind, reshape your attitude, and renew your spirit. Remember, this life will always give you 2 choices, to complain or to be grateful. One leads to bitterness, the other to joy. Which one you choose every day will define the quality of your life. Gratitude is not just a habit, it is the foundation of inner strength, peace, and true happiness. And when a woman lives with gratitude, she becomes a source of light, not just for herself, but for everyone around her. Self-discipline is the invisible strength that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the difference between a woman who simply wishes for a better life and a woman who actually builds that life. We often admire successful people, strong women, and inspiring leaders, but behind their grace and achievements lies one common foundation: the habit of discipline. Without discipline, even the most talented person can waste her potential. With discipline, even someone with modest beginnings can reach unimaginable heights. Discipline is not about being harsh on yourself. It is about loving yourself enough to do what is necessary rather than what is easy. Think about it. Every day presents us with choices. Do we wake up when the alarm rings, or do we hit the snooze button? Do we eat food that fuels our body, or do we give in to unhealthy cravings? Do we spend our time wisely, or do we waste it in endless distractions? These small choices, repeated daily, shape the entire direction of our life. Self-discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine 2 women preparing for the day. The first one wakes up late, rushes through her routine, skips breakfast, and begins her day in stress. She feels behind before the day has even started. The second woman wakes up early, not because she feels like it, but because she has trained herself with discipline. She gives herself time to breathe, to plan, to nourish her body, and then steps into her day with clarity. By the time others are just waking up, she is already centered, focused, and ahead. Which woman do you think will have a calmer, more productive, and successful day? Discipline doesn't just organize your time, it organizes your mind and energy. When you are disciplined, you don't allow the world to control you. You control yourself. You are no longer a slave to impulses or emotions. Instead of being dragged by laziness, excuses, or fear, you rise above them. That is true freedoms when you are the master of yourself. One of the most powerful areas where women need discipline is in time management. Time is the most precious gift God has given us. Every sunrise brings us 24 hours, but how we use them defines who we become. Some people waste their time in gossip, endless scrolling on their phones, or dwelling on the past. Others use their time to learn, grow, build relationships, and work on their goals. The difference is not in how much time they have, it is in how disciplined they are with it. A disciplined woman values her time because she knows it is life itself. Another area is discipline of emotions. Life will always test us with difficult people, unexpected challenges, and moments of frustration. Without discipline, emotions can control us. Anger can break relationships. Fear can stop progress, and impatience can destroy opportunities. But with discipline, a woman learns to pause before reacting, to breathe before responding, and to stay calm when storms arise. Imagine a workplace where a woman is under pressure, deadlines are tight, and colleagues are stressed. While others lose their temper, she remains composed, not because the situation is easy, but because she has disciplined her mind to stay steady. That inner discipline earns her respect, trust, and leadership. Discipline also extends to health. Our body is the vehicle through which we live this life. Without discipline in caring for it, everything else becomes harder. Skipping rest, overeating, or neglecting exercise may feel comfortable in the short term, but it weakens us in the long run. A disciplined woman respects her body, not out of vanity, but out of responsibility. She sleeps on time, eats consciously, and moves her body because she understands that health is her foundation. Here is something important to remember: discipline is not built in one day. It is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with daily practice. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Waking up early when you want to sleep more feels hard. Saying no to unhealthy temptations feels difficult. Sticking to your plan when distractions call you feels painful. But slowly, as you keep practicing, what once felt heavy becomes natural. What once felt like sacrifice becomes strength. Discipline becomes a part of who you are. And here is the beauty of discipline: it rewards you twice. First, with the satisfaction of knowing you stayed true to your goals. Second, with the results that discipline brings. The woman who disciplines herself to save money has financial freedom. The woman who disciplines herself to learn daily grows in wisdom. The woman who disciplines herself to control her words has peaceful relationships. Discipline is like planting seeds. In the beginning, it looks like nothing is happening, but with time, it blossoms into a garden of success, peace, and strength. Now, let us bring this closer to daily life. Imagine you have a dream. Maybe it's to start a business, to write a book, to get healthier, or to achieve a personal goal. Without discipline, that dream will remain only in your imagination. You may think about it often, but it will never become real. But if you commit to discipline, giving 1 hour every day to work on it, no matter what, slowly, step by step, the dream becomes reality. This is the silent power of discipline. It transforms invisible dreams into visible achievements. So, my dear sisters, remember this truth: talent can open doors, but only discipline keeps them open. Beauty may attract attention, but discipline earns respect. Dreams may inspire you, but only discipline makes them real. A disciplined woman may not always have the easiest path, but she will always have the strongest foundation. And when life tests her, she will not collapse because she has built herself with consistency, with resilience, and with the strength that comes from discipline. Discipline is love in action. Love for your future, love for your health, love for your purpose, and love for the life that God has gifted you. Master this habit, and you will find that there is nothing you cannot achieve, no goal you cannot reach, and no challenge you cannot overcome. Inner reflection is like holding a mirror up to your soul. Just as we glance in the mirror every morning to check our outer appearance, we also need a mirror for the mind and heart. Without it, we may look beautiful on the outside, but carry storms within. Reflection is the daily practice of pausing, of sitting quietly, of turning inward to ask ourselves, who am I becoming? Am I aligned with God's purpose? Am I walking the right path? The world today is full of noise. From the moment we wake up, our phones buzz, messages come in, social media screams for our attention, and everyone seems to want a piece of us. In this flood of noise, it becomes so easy to lose ourselves. We may achieve, we may run fast, we may tick off task after task, but at the end of the day, we feel empty. Why? Because we did not pause to reflect. We did not listen to our inner voice. Inner reflection is the art of silence in a world of constant noise. It is not about running away from responsibilities, but about recharging your inner battery so you can return to life stronger and clearer. Just as your phone needs charging every day, your soul also needs recharging. If you don't take time to connect with yourself and with God, you will run on low energy, feeling drained, confused, and disconnected. Let's take a simple example. Imagine a woman who never takes time for reflection. She wakes up, checks her phone, rushes into the day, and moves from one task to another. By night, she feels exhausted, but when she tries to sleep, her mind is restless. She wonders, why am I always tired? Why do I feel unsettled? The truth is, her body is active, but her soul is starving. Now picture another woman. She wakes up, and before diving into the outside world, she takes 10 minutes to sit in silence. She closes her eyes, breathes deeply, and connects with God within. She reflects on her thoughts. Am I living with kindness? Did I speak with patience yesterday? What do I need to improve today? Those 10 minutes may look small, but they shift her entire day. She becomes more aware, calmer, and more present in every interaction. Reflection is not about judgment or punishment. It is not sitting and saying, I am not good enough. It is about awareness. It is about gently observing yourself the way you would observe a child, with love, with patience, and with the desire to guide, not to condemn. When you reflect daily, you become conscious of your patterns. You realize which habits lift you up and which ones drag you down. You become aware of how you speak, how you react, and how you think. Awareness is the first step toward growth. Think of it like driving a car. If your windshield is dirty, your view is unclear, and you risk going off track. Reflection is like cleaning that windshield every day. The road of life doesn't change, but your clarity improves. When you reflect, you begin to see clearly. You realize where you need to adjust, where you need to slow down, and where you need to accelerate. Without reflection, we keep repeating the same mistakes. With reflection, we learn, we grow, and we move forward with wisdom. One of the most beautiful aspects of reflection is that it strengthens your connection with God. When you sit in silence, you hear whispers you cannot hear in noise. You feel guidance you cannot feel in rush. Many women say, "I pray, but I don't always feel connected." The truth is, prayer is us talking to God, reflection is us listening to God. And just like any meaningful relationship, communication is incomplete if we only talk and never listen. Reflection is where we receive the guidance, the intuition, and the peace that God places in our hearts. Let me give you a real life scenario. Suppose you had a difficult argument with someone you love. Without reflection, you carry anger, replaying the argument again and again in your mind. But if you sit in reflection, you breathe, calm yourself, and ask, "Did I speak with kindness? Did I let my ego get in the way? How could I handle it better next time?" That inner questioning doesn't change the past, but it transforms your future. The next time a similar situation arises, you are wiser, calmer, and more patient because you learned through reflection. Inner reflection also gives birth to self-respect. When you take time to know yourself, you stop living for the approval of others. You are no longer tossed around by every opinion or judgment. You become rooted in your values because you have taken the time to discover them. A woman who reflects knows who she is. And when you know who you are, the world cannot easily shake you. Reflection doesn't require hours. Even 5 to 10 minutes daily can change your life. It could be early in the morning or before sleeping at night. Some women like to journal their reflections, writing down their thoughts and lessons. Others prefer to sit in silence, close their eyes, and breathe. There is no rigid formula. The only requirement is honesty. Honesty with yourself and openness with God. In reflection, you may notice mistakes, weaknesses, or areas to improve. That is natural. But instead of feeling guilty, feel grateful. Because awareness is a blessing. Awareness means you have the chance to grow, to improve, and to become better tomorrow than you were yesterday. This is how life becomes a journey of continuous growth instead of endless repetition. So, my dear sisters, I invite you to cultivate the habit of inner reflection. Make it a daily ritual to pause, to turn inward, and to listen. Even in the busiest of days, give yourself those few moments of silence. Reflection will not take away your responsibilities. It will give you the strength to handle them better. It will not erase challenges. It will give you clarity to face them with wisdom. It will not remove noise from the world, but it will create peace within you that no noise can disturb. Remember, a woman who reflects is a woman who grows, and a woman who grows is a woman who inspires. Build this habit, and you will not just live life, you will live consciously, gracefully, and purposefully every single day. Keenness is not weakness. Kindness is strength in its most beautiful form. It is the gentle power that can soften the hardest hearts, heal unseen wounds, and create ripples of goodness far beyond what our eyes can see. A woman who lives with kindness carries a presence that no wealth, no status, and no beauty can replace. Her words uplift, her actions inspire, and her presence brings peace wherever she goes. In today's world, where competition and comparison often dominate, kindness can feel rare. People are quick to judge, quick to criticize, quick to complain. Yet, kindness is the habit that elevates a woman from ordinary to extraordinary. It doesn't require money, it doesn't require talent, it doesn't require perfection. It only requires a willing heart. Every woman, no matter where she comes from or what she has the power to be kind. Let's reflect on daily life. Imagine you are standing in a long line at the grocery store. Everyone is tired, impatient, and frustrated. A woman ahead of you struggles to pay, fumbling with her wallet. Without kindness, people behind her roll their eyes, sigh loudly, or complain. But with kindness, you simply smile and say, "Take your time." That one sentence, that one gentle tone, can calm her heart. She may walk away feeling lighter, simply because someone treated her with patience instead of irritation. That is the power of small kindnesses. They cost us nothing, but mean everything to others. Kindness is not just about how we treat strangers, it is also about how we treat those closest to us. Often, we are more polite to outsiders than to our own families. We say, "Thank you," to a colleague, but forget to say it to our husband or children. We speak gently to a shopkeeper but raise our voice at home. But true kindness begins at home. A kind word to your spouse, a patient response to your child, a respectful tone to your parents. These small acts create a home filled with warmth instead of tension. A woman who fills her home with kindness becomes the center of peace for her family. Another beautiful truth about kindness is that it multiplies. When you do something kind, you may not realize how far it travels. Let's say you hold the door open for someone. That person, touched by your gesture, may later go home and show extra patience to their child. That child, feeling loved, may grow up to show kindness to others. You may never see it, but your small action has started a chain of goodness. This is why they say kindness is like throwing a stone into a pond. The ripples keep spreading long after the stone has disappeared. Sometimes people think kindness is only for when others deserve it, but real kindness shines when people don't. Anyone can be kind to someone who is polite and respectful. But to respond with calmness when someone is rude, to choose compassion when someone is unfair, that is where true strength lies. Remember, people who hurt others are often carrying pain themselves. Your kindness may not change them instantly, but it plants a seed in their heart. And one day, that seed may bloom into something better. Let me give you a real-life example. Picture a woman working in an office where her colleague constantly criticizes her, tries to compete with her, and sometimes even disrespects her. She has two choices: to fight back with the same energy or to remain steady and respond with dignity. She chooses kindness. She doesn't let herself be walked over, but she also doesn't lower herself to rudeness. She greets her colleague with respect every day, helps when needed, and refuses to carry hatred. Over time, that colleague realizes that her negativity cannot break this woman's spirit. Slowly, the hostility fades. This is the power of consistent kindness. It transforms situations without shouting, without arguments, without revenge. Kindness is also a gift we give ourselves. When we are kind, our hearts feel lighter. Science even shows that acts of kindness release hormones that make us happier. But beyond science, kindness connects us to God. Every time we act with compassion, patience, or generosity, we align ourselves with divine values. Kindness is a prayer without words. It is a form of worship, because when you are kind to God's creation, you are honoring the Creator. In moments of reflection, ask yourself, did I leave someone's heart lighter today? Did my words heal or hurt? Did my presence bring comfort or stress? These small questions guide us toward living with more kindness. Imagine if every woman asked herself this daily, the world would feel softer, safer, and more loving. Now, some people fear that kindness will make them weak, that others will take advantage of them. But here is the truth: being kind does not mean being blind. You can set boundaries with firmness while still being kind. You can say no with respect. You can protect yourself without bitterness. A kind woman is not one who allows herself to be misused. She is one who knows her worth and still chooses gentleness over cruelty. Think of a candle. A candle can light another candle without losing its flame. That is what kindness is. It does not reduce you, it expands you. The more you give, the brighter you become. And unlike material possessions, the more kindness you give, the richer you become. So, my dear sisters, make kindness a daily habit. Don't wait for big moments to show it. Practice it in the smallest details. A smile to a stranger, a kind word to your child, patience with your spouse, a message to check on a friend, forgiveness towards someone who wronged you. These are not small things. These are the very things that define the quality of your life. Remember, long after people forget your achievements, your beauty, or your possessions, they will remember how you made them feel. And if you made them feel valued, respected, and loved, you have lived a truly successful life. Kindness is the legacy that never fades. Be the woman whose presence feels like sunlight, whose words feel like healing, and whose heart leaves a mark of goodness everywhere she goes.